Hi, and welcome to Moonbeam Connections. I'm Jackie Lee. Today on Shift Happens, Life in Transition, we're going to look at what shift is about to happen. So what shift is about to occur in your life, whether that's a shift in career, a shift in your personal life, a shift in your family life, a shift in where you're currently living. We're going to ask Spirit. So what shift is currently... Whoa. Maybe a lot of shifts. Let's see. Put these back in. And we shall begin again. Please, what shift is currently or about to occur in your life? Okay. And we got two cards here. So we've got the reversed hangman, which is about stalling or indecisions or being a martyr. And then we have the reversed Ten of Pentacles, which is about instability, financial loss, family issues. And so what I'd say is the shift that's actually occurring is having instability in your finances. So whether that's going to be just, the loss of a job, and so you're not bringing in as much money anymore, or whether that's going to be, you do an investment and you lose some money, there's going to be some type of instability that's occurring in your finances. And I would say it has to do with, stalling or indecision, or it's making it worse. Like maybe you see the financial instability coming, and yet you're not making the appropriate decisions that you need to make because you don't want to. Like maybe it's because your housing is now costing you too much, and that's causing you to be financially unstable, but you love your house, you love the neighborhood, you love whatever, you don't want to leave the house, and so you're stalling. You're not making the decision that you need to make, which is moving to a home that you can actually afford. And so that's bringing in this financial instability. So Spirit is definitely saying that there is some kind of like, you're delaying things, or you're stalling, or you're not making the appropriate decisions that you need to make in order to be financially stable. And because of that, you are this next sort of cycle that you're bringing in, this shift that's happening is a shift to financial instability. So what advice does Spirit have? Oh, and the advice came fast. So maybe that means we got to do it fast. So the advice you got, and look at this, is the Nine of Pentacles. This is about being independent, self-sufficient, sort of luxury. You can see she's planted all her seeds. She's sort of done the work. She's laid the foundation. She's laid the groundwork. And now she's able to prosper in that. She's planted all these seeds. She's planted all these coins. And now she's able to tend to her garden and manage it and watch her investments grow, watch her money grow, watch her, get pay raises, that sort of thing. So I've laid the financial, I've done a lot of hard work at work. I've done the learning I need to do. I've done the work I've needed to do, and I've worked hard and diligently, and I now have a very good understanding of it, and because of that, that's going to bring me financial incentive, that's going to bring me promotions, which will come along with financial incentives and that type of thing. And so when you take your advice to the reversed hangman and the reversed Ten of Pentacles, what it's saying is you need to be independently wealthy. And it's not wealthy, but have enough money to live. So what could be happening is we are stalling, making a decision to move out of a place we have with a roommate, or move out of a place we have with a romantic partner. And because we're stalling that and we're making that we are actually putting off the financial instability. So it could also be that way too. If this reflects in your life, then that would be the message is, say you have a partner and you both have this place and you're sharing the bills, but this partnership really does need to break up and it needs to go its own way, but that is going to bring you that financial instability, right? And so you're stalling on making the decision to actually break up with this person because of the finances that are attached to it. It could even be a career that you're miserable at, but you don't want to lose that financial security. And what Spirit is saying is you need to be independently financially secure. You need to be self-sufficient. You need to be so that you're not reliant on another person. And I would say that's probably the main message of this reading, is that you're putting off making decisions that may cause financial instability, or putting off the decision is causing the financial instability. And what you need to do is start making those decisions and start living independently, self-sufficiently, have enough for you to survive so that you don't need somebody else to come in and pay, right? And that'll make you make better decisions all the way along. Like if you've always been, you glommed onto a partner because that partner will help pay your bills, so you want them there and you're glomming on, you end up glomming onto the wrong partners. Where if you're standing in your self-sufficiency, you're standing in your independence, you're standing in the I can afford things myself, I don't need you to help me live, like to help pay for my rent, I don't need that. So then you make better decisions because you're making the decision to be with someone out of love or out of, liking. You like them, you admire them, there's equal give and take in the relationship. And so you want to be with this person. And it's not just about, well, I need financial help, so that's why I'm in this situation. I'm going to stay with you for the financial help. So the Spirit is really saying here, you need to become financially independent. So whether that's, working towards getting a better job, getting a job, not living in a place that you can independently support that. So maybe you're avoiding getting a divorce or leaving your partner because you want to stay in the house you're in, but that's bringing even more financial hardship. And Spirit is saying, no, you need to get yourself in a situation where you can afford by yourself independently your house. And so you need to be making the decision to move into a condo, to move into a smaller house, to move into something that you can afford on your own so that you don't have to be dependent on other people. And of course, other people can just leave us suddenly. So you can sit here all day and be in this, I don't want to make the choice to leave this person because then I'll lose my house. I don't want to leave this person because I'll lose my house. And then they walk up and leave. They get up and leave, and now you're stuck in this house and financially independent or unstable, and you don't have their help at all. And so you need to put yourself into a situation where you are financially independently stable without other people. And what should be that's your advice. So let's see if we can get a step, the step to get there. So what step would get you there? What next action would help move you towards this financial independence? And that one really does want to come out, so let's take it. Ooh, reverse Knight of Cups. It's interesting because the Knight of Cups is like your knight in shining armor, right? So it's like, oh, not your knight in shining armor. That is not the next step. But so reversed, it's about being moody or unrealistic or even like being jealous. And so I would say your next step is not to be looking at what other people have. Like if this is about your house making you financially unstable, don't look at what other people have and be jealous and I want that too, because that's bringing you financial instability. You need to focus on yourself and your financial stability, or don't be unrealistic about what you can achieve with your financial resources you have, right? You're supposed to, I think it's like 30% of your take-home pay should go to, not should, but the max should be 30% go to your housing expenses. And if you're somebody's like, oh, it's okay, I'll put 60% towards my housing costs because I want this huge house and we'll be okay, right? That is, that's being unrealistic about things. And so your next step is to look at everything in your life and look at it realistically, not from what I want, what I hope for, what I wish could be. you need to look at it realistically, what's happening and how do I need to do this, right? We're talking about finances here. I mean, we got 2 pentacles. I definitely say this about finances, but it can be tied to relationships, of course, too. But you need to realistically look at your life. What can I afford? What can't I afford? What do I need to do to start making more money so I can afford more? What do I need to do in order to stabilize my finances? How much money should I be putting towards investments? How much money should I be putting towards my housing? What's the maximum I should spend on my housing so that when I choose my housing, I'm not choosing an unrealistic target. I'm choosing something that's realistic so that I can easily and by myself afford that housing. And so this is what you're meant to do. You are about to come into a financially difficult situation because you're not making a decision or because you're about to make this decision that will throw you into this indecision or into this unstable financial situation. But you're supposed to look at things realistically, actually evaluate how much money do I take home? Where am I spending my money? Where should I be spending my money? Where don't I need to spend my money? What's just luxuries that I don't need? And adjust your life accordingly so that you can live independently and self-sufficiently within your means without having to rely on other people for that. So we are going to get angel number for you today. So we're going to ask for a message from my angel numbers, from the angels. We'll see what they have to say today about this reading. I know it's not exactly positive, but it's not positive at all. But it really is, because it's telling you restructure your life. Take a look at your life, restructure it so that you are living within your luxury, living within your self-sufficiency, living within your independence, which will bring you peace and the balance that you need within your life, and really does end up bringing you that it brings you the financial stability that you want, but the financial abundance that you want, right? Once you've set your housing, once you've set your lifestyle so that you're living within your means, suddenly you have extra money so that you could go out once a week for dinner with a friend. You can go and do a trip once a year. You could go do this because you've set your life up so that you're living in a stable, reasonable manner that allows you to have this extra money for a little bit of fun. And when I say like go on trips and things like that, I'm not saying like, oh, you're going to go once a year to like Europe, or you're going to go once a year to Africa or Australia. I'm talking like maybe I go on a camping trip. Maybe I go, a road trip and I'm going 2 hours away and I only go for the weekend, but it allows you to have these little luxuries that when you're trying to fight off your financial collapse, when you're only staying with somebody to help support you, you don't end up in that security where you have those little extras because you're spending way too much on things you don't need to be spending that much on. So let's get an angel number, please, for this reading. What do they need to hear about this situation? Advice or message you would like to give? Oh, we'll take that one because that one flipped up. Adaptability. Okay. So, like, I can't even plan this stuff. So it's 765, which is adaptability. And it says, you are flexible and capable of facing changes. Trust in your strength to navigate any challenge that arises. Like, is that not just perfect, right? I'm saying start making those changes so that you're self-sufficient, independent. And this is saying you are flexible enough to do it. You are capable enough to do it. And you can make these changes. You can face what you need to face, make the changes. And you just need to trust in yourself that no matter what challenges arise, you can do this. So if it's like, I need to move house and my roommate's going to be disappointed because I'm telling them this is just too much. You can face that. You can deal with that, right? You can say, okay, well, I will stay here, until you find a new roommate, or I will actively go out and look for a roommate for you, or, whatever it is, or you're in a bad relationship that you only stayed with them because of the financial means, and for you to be able to be like, no, I can do this. I can make my own money. I can live within my means of what I am making. I can go out and get a better job to make more money. I can, start working towards promotion. So right now I'm not making that much and I'm going to live within my means, but I also know that I am going to work my way up the ladder and I'm going to start making more and more and more. And eventually I'll be able to adjust my lifestyle a bit, And a lot of times what you'll find too is this is about downgrading a house. So I have this beautiful house that I love. I downgrade so that I'm financially independent, self-sufficient. So I'm living well within my means, have a little bit extra money. Then as you start getting extra and extra and extra, instead of actually like going back to that luxurious house that maybe you can now afford, you're like, well, no, this house is good enough. This house is all that I need. I don't need a big, huge house. And now I have this extra money that I can go to Africa or England or wherever once a year and do these awesome trips. And now I'm going to value that more. And so as you sort of learn and grow and make changes in your life, even what you want changes, right? When you find, well, I'm happier when I have a smaller house and I'm financially independent. Now, listen, you're not as worried as I want the bigger house, because a lot of times I want the bigger house is just also other people can see I have the bigger house, because if other people see I have the bigger house, then they'll think I'm successful. Whereas you'll end up standing in I'm successful with the smaller house. I love my life. I don't need to care that you have a bigger house because I know what financial burden that brings. And I don't truly, feel that you're happy. Or maybe they have more resources than you, but you're like, I'm okay with that because I'm happy within my life. I'm happy with my smaller house and getting to do my trips every year. That's what makes me happy, or whatever you want to spend your money on. Those little extra things that you like to do to spend your money on will be there when you arrange your life so that you can financially exist calmly, peacefully, within that, right? And so that you have this nest egg, you have this emergency fund, you have your bills up to date and paid, you don't have any debt. And this is what we're striving for in life. And I'm going to get you one more message from my message deck. Sorry, that's not my message deck. It kind of looks like it. Okay. So we're going to get you one message from this deck, and this is just my oracle deck with just messages. It's just words on it. And we'll see what message I just saw 1717 on the clock, if that's significant for you. Ones are about, or how I look at it. You can look at 1717 might mean something different for you, but ones is like new beginnings, new starts. And then sevens for me is luck. That's about being lucky, about having, a lucky turn of events. So there you go, right? Start making the positive changes and all of a sudden luck will come to you. I truly am one of those people that believes that nobody gets anywhere without luck. However, you need to be prepared to take advantage of that luck. So if you don't prepare ahead of time to take advantage of the luck that comes, it's not lucky because you don't get it. But when you're prepared for the lucky moment, your lucky break, your lucky job opportunity, your lucky financial investment, when you're prepared, then you can take those chances. So it'd be like, I am saving and investing, I'm saving money up. So I have a little bit of a nest egg. This investment opportunity opens up. It's a good one. I now have this little bit of nest egg. I can throw some money at it. But if I didn't prepare, having this little bit of nest egg here, when this lucky opportunity to invest where I'm going to make a lot of money comes up, I can't take it. That's not lucky for me. I don't have the means to do it. But when I am prepared, when I am financially stable, when I do have a little bit of savings, now I can take that opportunity when it comes. And so we must understand that, people get lucky breaks, but those lucky breaks, they are able to take advantage of the lucky break because they've done the prep work. And if you don't do the prep work first, when those lucky breaks happen, you aren't able to take advantage of them. So, stop looking outside for the answers. You already know them. So you already know. You already know what's going on here, right? If you're with somebody and you know you're only with them for the finances, you don't really want to be with them, and so you know, yeah, I need to readjust my life. I need to move out. I need to find a smaller place that I can easily afford, but you just don't want to make that decision, right? That's not what you want, but it's what you know you should do. Then you're not, well, then you're stuck in this financial instability where excuse me, where you're dependent on somebody else for that financial security. And that's not financial security at all, because, like I said, that person can just at any moment decide that they're gone, right? Just because you're hanging on for the finances, they obviously don't need to hang on for the finances. So they will be gone when they so choose to be gone. You have no control over that. That leaves you financially unstable. So you need to set your life up so you're financially stable. So you stop looking outside yourself. You already know what the answers are. As I've been talking, things have been popping up. You've been thinking about things, and whatever those things you've been thinking about, those changes you make, those, yeah, maybe I should do that. Start looking into that. Start figuring it out. Start aligning your life so that you're financially independent and not financially dependent on someone else or something else that's going to, in the long run, make you absolutely miserable. And money is not everything. We need enough to live. We do not need enough to have a whole bunch of luxuries. That's not what we're here for, is just to gather stuff so that when we die, other people can have stuff. Like, you know what I mean? We just gather stuff all day. Your car that you own now, somebody else will own it in the future. Your house that you own now, somebody else will own it in the future. You know, that whatever it is, that job that you have now, somebody else will be doing it in the future. Nothing is forever. Everything will change, and everything physical will one day be somebody else's and not yours. And so there's no point in just amassing stuff. We need certain things. I live in Canada. I need 4 walls and a roof and a heater. I need that. That is something I need. I don't need a 5,000 square foot house though, right? That's not a need. I need something that's big enough for me to sleep in and stay warm. And so I am not going to go out and buy a massive house. But some people would look at my house and be like, well, that's ridiculous, your house. And I actually have a smaller, average size house, but smaller, on the smaller side. So you need to examine your life, look where you are currently financially unstable, or where you're about to be financially unstable, or where you could be financially unstable, and start stabilizing. Start arranging your life so that you're not dependent on anybody else financially. And start looking at things realistically. Not the, oh, well, you know, I'll make more money in 2 years and it'll be fine. I'll struggle for 2 years and then it'll be fine. Well, what if you get into an accident? What if you're like a firefighter and then you're involved in an accident and now you can't do your firefighting anymore and you're on disability, and so you're making half of what you used to make. So although you thought, oh, in 2 years I'm going to get a pay raise, or I'm going to get promoted, or I'm going to do this, so I'll struggle in this bigger house for now and pay more money, and then in the future I'll be okay, but now I've gotten in this accident and actually my income's been halved. So it's not just a struggle now it's bankruptcy. And we're falling into this absolute disrepair with our finances because we're banking on, oh, in the future it'll be okay. I'll just struggle now and in the future it'll be better. So we need to look at what's realistic and what's now. And nothing says we can't do the smaller thing now. And then as we become more financially stable, as we have more money, more backing behind us, move up if that's what we want to do. Maybe you go into an apartment, then you're in a townhouse, then you're in a little house, then you're in a bigger house. Or maybe you do apartment, townhouse, and then you're like, you know what? I like not having to mow the grass. I'm never leaving my townhouse. My townhouse is big enough. I don't know what I was thinking, wanting a huge house with a huge lawn that I had to spend 2 hours a week mowing. Like, that was ridiculous. I like this situation better. So it's, you do you, but look at the aspects of your life and be realistic and set yourself up so that you set your life up so you are financially independent and not having to rely on anyone else. The spirits, the angels are telling you, you have the ability to do it. You have the ability to make the changes and set yourself up to be financially secure independently, irregardless of what anyone else around you is doing. So I hope this message helped. I'm sending you peace, love, and happiness. Bye for now.